Mr. Banks, the train keeps on humming, brother. What's happening?
Yeah, everything is good, man. Giants are rolling right along, finding ways to win. And I think the impressive part about it is that Baltimore took away Saquon Barkley, and they had to find a different way to win it. They had special teams contribute. They had some opportunistic defensive plays to help them, and the wide receivers came through.
Yeah, at the end of the day, a win is a win, but it hasn't always been pretty. I know that going down to Jacksonville feels like it's easy, but this Jacksonville team is not as bad as their 2-4 record. Trevor Lawrence has gotten better. They have some weapons. The run game is really good. Defensively, they get after it as well. They just haven't quite figured out how to win under Doug Peterson. If they should win this game, Carl, can we then start saying this team can make the playoffs? Because right now, I don't think a lot of people are ready to say that yet.
Well, you shouldn't be ready to say it yet. And to your point, Doug Peterson's an excellent coach. He's had the Giants number over, for many years when he was in Philadelphia. He knows how to coach. He knows how to get his guys in great positions. And like you said, they've got good personnel. If the Giants win this game, it's just one more game closer to being eligible for the playoffs. But I don't think when we look at all the work that needs to be done by this team, you should crown them a play. I mean, listen, if you're a wild card in contention for a wild card spot, yeah, you can have that conversation, I guess, because, wild cards are not, you get all types, especially coming out of the NFC East in the last couple of seasons, they were not that impressive as wild cards. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's okay. I wouldn't go that far ahead.
Yeah.
I just take them week by week.
Yeah, I think that's what the players are doing. I know that's what
I'm doing the opposite.
I know, like the fans want to go completely opposite of that. But I wonder if there's an intangible that you can feel that you can recount to us on game day, because you're there every game day, that makes this team so resilient. Because that's the word that keeps getting thrown out about the Giants. They're just resilient. They weather whatever storm comes their way. They find a way, whether it's scheme-wise or someone making a play, to come back and win these games. I mean, it's 3 out of 5. They've come from behind to win. It's pretty amazing.
This is going to sound really, really strange, Tiki, especially the conversation we had after last season with fan atrophy.
Yeah.
The fans, the fans in the stands have had a huge impact on how this team, the energy in the stadium and how they play late in games. They don't wilter, and I think they feed off the energy of the fan base. I mean, the crowd has just been incredible, and that's that one intangible, especially when you're winning or you're in contention. It's the fans that really push you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's been apathy. I don't blame the Giant fans. I mean, you can only enjoy tailgating so much. I mean, same with Jet fans. All right, yeah, I had a couple of beers. Yeah, I had a couple of hot dogs. We go in. It's the most uninspiring football I've seen in 10 years.
Are we staying past halftime?
Exactly. No, it has
like.
been miserable. Giant fans are back.
The funny thing about that, Brandon, is I knew the fans were back when somebody complained to me that after they got off a 16W, it took them an hour to get into the stadium.
There we go. Exactly.
I'm like, when's the last time we've heard that? Like, that was the good old days when people were saying, I'm off a 16W and I'm just waiting to get in the stadium for an hour.
Carl, when they leave, they're like, God, this sucks.
3 hours to leave.
It takes an hour and a half to get out of the parking lot.
Oh, my God. That is good stuff. So we're talking to Carl Banks, 2-time Super Bowl champ and also part of the Giants broadcast crew here on the Fan, home of the Giants. I want you to frame, and you can take this wherever I don't know where you're going to go. I'm very curious how you answer this. So the Bills are 5-1. Their point differential plus 95. Just a little perspective for everybody out there. Eagles are 6-0. They're plus 56. The Giants are 5-1. They're plus 14. Obviously, that says a lot, and you can interpret that a couple of different ways. But I want to know from you, Carl, from the first snap of the season until now, give me one specific part of the team where you have seen, like, tangible, palpable improvement where it was a weakness and now somehow it's gone to a strength. What would you identify?
I would say it's the offensive line. The offensive line the improvement is appreciable, and it has resulted in just a much better Saquon Barkley, even though Saquon Barkley is running out of his mind right now. But the offensive line is the one area I point to because we looked at it all offseason. We looked at it for the last 5 seasons. And this year they hit the ground running. Now they still got some interior line problems, but the offensive line is appreciably better.
Okay. Well, that's what fans have been clamoring for years, going back to Gettleman.
Yeah.
They finally got it.
Yeah, but also, maybe a close second is the defensive line, with the pressure that they've been able to get. Dexter Lawrence, people thought a year ago, he was a bust. He's useless. Dexter Lawrence is balling this year. Leonard Williams was back last weekend. Aziz he's aggressive, and Kayvon finally got his first sack. The defensive line is really where the difference has been made in the second half, and you saw this after the game, Carl. I'm sure you witnessed it. Brian Dable is just enthusiastically at Wink, right? Wink is and for what he's been able to do with the turnovers and the opportunistic plays. This defense is playing themselves into one of the top 15, maybe 10 in the league, even though the stats don't tell you that.
Yeah, and you know what? And Wink, I'm a big fan of, but he's becoming your favorite defensive coordinator's favorite defensive coordinator because he's in his bag every single week. And, he's playing to his strengths. So he's got, a stable of rushers with Jimenez, Ojulari, Thibodeau, Jihad Ward, who's just incredible. Timon Fox, right?
Yeah.
And then he's got a rotation of his interior defensive linemen, and then his safeties are really good. So he's playing to his strengths, and I would suspect at some point Landon Collins is going to be at the linebacker level just to give him even more versatility.
Yeah. Now, the other question, Carl, that keeps coming up is, should the Giants go trade for a big-time wide receiver? And I know, just having conversations with Joe Shane before the season, they were previously reluctant to even think about it because of the cap situation that they've been. I think they only have $4 million in cap space.
Sure.
Next year, however, I think they're 4th in cap space available in 2023. So they can do a lot next offseason. But do you think that they'll get to the point where they'll say, all right, we should trade for whoever it may be, wide receiver-wise, to upgrade that particular position?
Well, I think it's a possibility, but I don't think it's a strong possibility. And I think it really comes down to what's coming out in the draft, if this is a good receiver class, and what's going to hit the free agent market next year. But you could see the progression of Darius Slayton. Rondell Robinson, you haven't seen. He's just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
So I believe, especially with the coaching that they have with Mike Groh and that staff, they're getting more. Yeah, exactly. They're getting more out of these guys each and every week. And I think, a guy like Darius Slayton's confidence is growing. He's impacted the game the last 2 games. I think Rondell Robinson's going to be that. And then the other guys are contributors, right? So the top pick from last year, he doesn't even count on the roster as I see it because he just doesn't participate.
No.
So, but the guys they have to work with, they're doing a pretty good job with it. So to go out and say, okay, this receiver will get us over the top of what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, it almost would be a waste because you're integrating someone new who then you have to target, as opposed to let's just figure this thing out as we go, which is a testament, to be honest, Carl, to Daniel Jones. Right, he's not doing too much, not being asked to do too much, but he's leading this offense pretty damn effectively and not turning the ball over.
And as the head coach says, he's doing exactly what they want him to do, and he's executing it the way they want him to. So I don't think that's a knock on Daniel. When he's called on to throw a deep ball, he can throw a deep ball, but he's making great decisions with the football. And who's going to complain when you're winning?
I know you're not, because I think if the Giants win this game, according to a few of my buddies that bumped into you, you're going to go have a cigar over at the River Palm again on Sunday night. You bumped into a few of my boys on Sunday. I got spies out there.
Telling my secrets.
I got spies out there, Banks. I know what's going on. Great spot, by the way, in Edgewater. All right, dude. Have a great trip. Bring back another W. It's been an amazing season so far. Thanks a lot, Carl.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
There you go. The great.